Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
It's Thursday night, and we're at Darlington, and that means it's time for the Growmasters Average Joe's Sim Racing League. Welcome everyone tonight here to Darlington Raceway, the home of many a great epic moments, legendary battles, and great races. Happy to have you along with us here on Green Flag TV. Welcome in tonight. My name is Derek Watson, and I am next tonight to Emmett Crow. Emmett, welcome in your first Average Joe's broadcast at one of the toughest ovals on the schedule.
Yeah, this is going to be a great race, Derek. Looking forward to this. Thanks for having me, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a great show. There's going to be a lot of... we're going to have to get a Darlington stripe counter because there's no telling how many times they're going to hit that wall.
That is a very good question. How many times will it happen? We'll wait and see. Well, we said we're into our schedule here. We're pretty close to being done with Season 1 schedule. Look on the right side of your screen here. We're August 28th at Darlington. Only 2 races left. Next weekend, Chicagoland, September 4th. And then Homestead, Miami Speedway. That'll wrap up Season 1. We'll have a bit of a break during the month of September, and then we will kick back off in the month of October with Season 2. Well, while we are only a couple races left, Emmett, look at this. This points battle is heated. For the second week in a row, we are at a dead heat tie. Michael Harrington and Michael Weaver, dead heat tie, 378 points apiece, tied for first. Terrence Murphy's back in second, 356. Stephen Blevins, Blake Ward back in P5. Jonathan Dominics, John Sheen, Willie Smith, Fred Chase, Brian Cook in your top 10. So think about that, Emmett. 3 races to go, Darlington, Chicagoland, Homestead, and we're tied on points.
Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Definitely going to be interesting when we get to these last few races to see who comes out victorious out of this gauntlet.
Yeah, definitely excited to see what's going to happen here right now on this track. And before we get into tonight's festivity, we do want to take a second here, and we're going to thank the sponsors of tonight's race. We're going to start off, of course, as always, with Growmasters. They have been gracious enough all season to sponsor the Growmasters Average Joe's Sim Racing League. And you know, at Growmasters, we understand that the passion the hunters, wildlife enthusiasts, and deer hunters have for creating thriving deer populations. Their deer mineral supplements are carefully formulated to provide the essential nutrients that deer need for optimal health, antler growth, and attraction to your property. Whether you're looking to promote year-round health or encourage larger antler development, our products are developed and deliver unmatched quality and results. Again, thanks to Growmasters for sponsoring this season. Also now for tonight's sponsor, the Shiner Memorial 150, in loving memory of sponsor Michael Weaver's brother, who passed away way too soon. He loved his Harley, was constantly seen shining it, and he truly earned his nickname. Godspeed, Shiner. Rest in peace. Well, tonight, again, the Shiner Memorial 150. Michael Weaver's brother, the honoree of that memorial this evening. And, well, we come for that. Here we go. And I think qualifying is just about halfway through here on the track. 5-minute qualifying to turn 2 laps here at Darlington. That sounds simple, Emmett, but boy, turning laps at Darlington, that's a challenge.
Yeah, it definitely is a challenge, and that's what these guys are going to be facing all night long. And it's going to be interesting to see how they get their car uh, focused and see what happens for sure.
Excited to see what happens. Excited to see who takes the pole. If we head down to qualifying, we might even see current that one of those two, Michael Harrington, one of those two drivers fighting for the points battle, is currently on the pole. At 28.966 is where we stand currently as qualifying is wrapping up. There's Jonathan Dominics. He just scrubbed the wall as we went live. So that'll be a killed run. There's Jacob Watson in that black and yellow Tabula Rasa esports machine. He's going to come around here. And he's going to try to get up against that wall, Emmett, and doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, doing a good job so far. As you see right here, that's where you want it. But that's where all the speed is, Derek, and that's why these cars, you want to get them right up against the wall. And when you get up there, sometimes when you get into those marbles, you'll just drift up, and that's when you find the Darlington stripe, and the lady in black gives you a little
that might have been
lick right there.
Yep. Yeah, good call. All right, well, about 30 seconds left on the clock here. So right now, it'd be hard pressed to think that anyone who hasn't set a time would get one in by now. So in the moment, we'll take a look at the starting grid. We'll see your lineup. We'll see if Watson gets in their lap in here first. Come around here through the corners. Riding a little bit lower this time, not a surprise. When he get around here, about 15, nope, same spot. Licked that wall again. And in qualifying, if you touch the wall, your time is invalidated.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up tonight's qualifying session. And in just a moment, we'll take a look at tonight's Average Joe's Grandmasters starting grid. Last moment up on the board at 27, Akari King Wright at 28.807. He'll pilot that 28 car next to the 8 of Michael Harrington. Moving back into P3, it is Douglas Ivey, and he is next to Nolan McClurg, who made his debut last week. He's in P4. Back in P5, you'll find that 94 Fred Chase. He's next to Willie Smith, the Mountain Dew Code Red machine, back in P6. For P7, you'll find John Sheen, a new look for that Dukes of Hazzard car. He's got the 70 of Brian Day on the outside. Going back into P9, you'll find Justin Day. He's in the 101, and he's next to Blake Hewlett, who's moved to the 13 car.
Yeah, and then you're going to find Brian Cook in 11th next to Michael Weaver in the number 2 machine in 12th. And then next you're going to find Terrence Murphy in the 5 machine lined up next to Jeffrey Petty in the 24 machine on the outside. Then you're going to find Chris Mackey in the 9 car in 15th, lined up next to Ryan McClurg in the 69 on the outside. Then you're going to find Jonathan Dominics in the 49 machine, lined up next to Blake Ward in the 82 machine on the outside. Then you're going to find in P19 Jason Rushing in the 78, lined up next to Austin Guerrero in the 45 on the outside.
The more new paint schemes this week, and we'll take a look back at M. Brian Matthews, not 28, in the Under Armour machine. He's next to Dan Adams, who's returned back to the Green Bay Packers paint scheme. Jacob Watson is back in the number 4 Tabula Rasa esports machine, next to Josh Revel. That's 23rd and 24th. 25th is Brad G. He's the last driver to put a time on the board officially. And he's got Stephen Blevins next to him all the way back in P26. That's a tough spurting spot for someone in the top in points. And then Corey Moore and Art Milne round out your 28 car field. And that's a look top to bottom at tonight's starting grid. Well, Emmett, here we are. The track too tough to tame, the lady in black. So many nicknames have been given to this facility over the years. In your mind, if a driver wants to be successful here tonight, how do they accomplish that?
Well, you gotta take it one step at a time. It's going to be a long race tonight, and you got to remember that as a driver. You can't get too over anxious. You got to take your time. I mean, it's going to be a long night. Tires are going to come into play, so manage your tires and be there at the end, and you'll walk away conquering the lady in black.
Well, look at that temp down there, by the way. It's 74 degrees Fahrenheit. much different than yesterday. Last night, myself, Evan Pasoko on the channel, we called Premier Sim Racing here at Darlington. It was 126 yesterday on the track. So obviously much different settings, a nighttime race, and more going on. Happy with us here on Green Flag TV. We got Christian Hill pushing the buttons down in the booth, making us look and sound good. I'm next to Emmett Crow, and I am Derek Watson. I'm excited to get this thing started. We'll get ready here as we tail around to the starting grid, wait for the green flag to come out, and let's see what happens at Darlington. Emmett, it didn't take long to find your first black stripes of the evening. Look at those cars already. There's Nolan McClure. He's already getting that Darlington stripe on the side of that car.
Yeah, definitely, and just right on cue, Derek. You know, we were just talking about seeing that on the static cam, but then as soon as we go on McClure, we see him go up there and get a Darlington stripe. So I want to ask you, Derek, over under 50 Darlington stripes tonight? Oh, man.
Big hit up in the wall. That's that Skyline chilling machine, but all was okay. But look at that gap. What it did, it kept the race green, but look at the gap it's put in the field here. Quickly. The massive gap going on here. There's a 55 car, and up ahead of him. Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at the gap right there. And we see right there, even our leader is not safe from the lady in black. As we see him, looks like he got a little Darlington stripe as well.
Yep, lots going on. This is a Kari King right. We're looking back on this is currently your leader. He's got Michael Harrington behind him. You see the car there. The Nolan McClure back in third. That puts us about 1 second back for your top three. And then the gap it builds from there from McClure to Fred Chase over a second by itself. So this field has quickly spread out here in Darlington.
Yeah, definitely spread out. That's how this, it can either be, you know, it's some exciting restarts, but once you get that clean air, your car's going to really get away from the car behind them because they'll get caught in that dirty air. And the thing about these next-gen cars, what you notice is they're so hard to pass. Like, you get a dirty air and you're basically a sitting duck because you can't go forward, you can't go back. You're just sitting there riding right behind the guy and just praying for caution and try to make some moves.
Making some moves right there is what's happening. You see some drivers. Typically when you see a swing like that at Darlington, that was Blake Ward, by the way, in that white car you saw swing to the left there. If you see a car swing that way here, it means either they've scrubbed the wall and they're trying to get away from it, or they're scared because they think the car in front of them scrubbed the wall and they're trying to get away from it. So you'll see those kind of moves all night long. Blake Ward's in 16th place right now. He has that Barks root beer machine right in front of him. That's Blake Hewlett, who's moved numbers from the 9 to the 13 for the rest of the season. Gonna ride on board from the front of Blake's car here. You know, Emmett, these guys are, I mean, honestly, making us look kind of easy getting around Darlington. Getting through these corners, they feel super narrow, they're super slick, but these guys are making it look pretty easy so far as Ward backed out of that pass.
Yeah, they're making it look real easy, but yeah, we see Ward right here. I mean, this is a great shot showing the progression of the banking, how it goes from flat if you go down to the closer to the apron and then getting right back up here. And you see just how steep that banking is, Derek, and how hard it is sometimes to keep the car up there for sure.
Yep, you see it is hard, but Ward made it work. He got that pass on Blake Hewlett. So looking on back, you see he has completed the pass and put a bit of a gap right there. So that's now going to be Blake Ward. That's Hewlett. That's Austin Guerrero in the back trying to get around as well. So a little bit of a battle going back here in the middle of the pack. And there you go. There's, oh, that hurts. Austin Guerrero has been taunting me all week with the Steelers thing. He knows that myself and others are from Ohio. So he's been taunting us in Discord with the Steelers thing all week. And we might have to delete that paint from the broadcast. That may not stick around.
Well, so here's the thing, you know, I'm a fan of the other 6-time Super Bowl champion and, no, 5-time, excuse me. And sad day to hear that Micah Parsons is heading north up to Green Bay. For sure.
I suppose it is. Hey, you know, I'll give Austin a little bit of a hard time. Austin, fix your number font color. If you want to put a Steelers car in it, that green does not fit. I love Austin, great guy, but yeah, he's got a little bit of Steelers and he got a little bit of Eagles going. That must hurt, by the way. I mean, remember the Steelers Eagles Super Bowl in the mid 2000s. So yeah, but Austin's doing a little wild ride right here. You see, he's having a bit of a hard time. Emmett, you see that car kind of swings around out of the corners. So I mean, again, this is not. In my mind, this is probably the most difficult oval on the current NASCAR schedule as far as just finding a line and staying out of the walls.
Well, technically, Derek, this is actually an egg shape instead of an oval if you look at the technicalities. But yes, this is one of the most difficult. And, you know, it's crazy. We've seen all these first-time winners. You know, Regan Smith, I believe, didn't Chase Briscoe, didn't he get his first win at Darlington, I believe?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not his first win, but of course that epic battle back in 2001. Kurt Busch, Ricky Craven, you know, beating Dorsch to the line moment that you weren't really sure who won. So it's been a lot of great battles here, and of course not that long ago when we started racing it under the lights like we are here tonight. There's Dan Adams. There's where Micah Parsons went. Let's finish that story and kind of make that round. So I'm sure Dan Adams is happy that Micah Parsons became a Green Bay Packer. It cost a lot, but I think I saw 2 first-round picks and some other things to make that deal happen. But Dan's been in the Milwaukee Brewers paint recently and a couple other skins, but he's come back to that Packers car. Currently running 21st, up ahead of Corey Moore. And see how he does the line here. So, I mean, some drivers will diamond the corner. Some drivers will double diamond this corner. It's like Dan's maybe just going to try the single diamond at most here, but some actually love to double diamond those corners because of how tough it is here. Yeah,
I heard rumors that Dan Adams wanted to put a cheese head on top of the car, but the officials were saying that it wouldn't pass tech and he couldn't do it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it wouldn't be very aerodynamic either.
But you know, yeah, that's an awesome looking scheme. I mean, but and I did want to correct you, Derek, but that was 2003 with Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven.
Oh wow, really? Okay, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Go for it. All right, that's fine. All right, well, here's a pass, by the way. This is a pass you typically want to make down the front straight here, Emmett, because we said earlier these corners are narrow. And this is, Corey Moore to scrub the wall. You see the smoke pop up there. This is a track where you don't really want to be too wide in your corners if you can help it.
Yeah, you really don't want to be too wide because especially if you get down where it's nice and flat, it's also slicker than Alsnot. And your car can go from, you know, I mean, they're making it stick, but it could slip and slide, and you could ride up and drift up and take out a lot of cars with you.
Well, let's see. Dan Adams falling back here. Art Milne, the next one, is going to make the pass here and get on around. Maybe not. I mean, look, they were too wide to the corner, but that was about as much as you could be. Art Milne was technically below the corner here. That's what happened. That white line, I think I saw his tires, at least 2 of them, below that, so he gave plenty of space. Wanted to make sure no contact was made here at Darlington. Of course, this is one of those weird tracks. You mentioned it being an egg shape, and that's because the corners are different. Here's a pass. Nope, aborted. It's just there's a pass on Art Milne. By the way, that would have been Brian Cook back there. But this track very different because the corners, one corner is more narrow because they decided they wanted to preserve that pond on the outside of the track.
Yeah, and it's made for some excellent racing, like we were talking about. You know, 2003, the closest finish at that time in NASCAR history. You know, we go back to the epic battle between Chris Buescher and Kyle Larson, and then we also think about last year, Brad Keselowski racing. Well, yeah, he raced his way into the playoffs. I didn't think there for a minute. But some great races definitely here at Darlington.
Great races here. A great race happened right here. Art Milne is trying his best. Slides up the corner a little bit. Kind of got in the way of Brian Cook. Cook's just trying to kind of stay back here and ride. But I mean, so far we've seen some stripes happen so far tonight. But I mean, nothing too wild so far. We're a good number of laps into this race already, Emmett. We're already 18 laps in. We're cooking along here. Drivers are doing pretty well here. Up front, this is P7. This is Terrence Murphy. He's got John Sheen up in front of him. He's got Brian Day on back. So there's a nice little battle for P7. This is the battle for P2. By the way, this is Michael Harrington. He got passed by Fred Chase. Chase up 3 spots.
Oh, man.
And now Fred Chase wants to run down the leader. But Akari King Wright, Emmett, has pulled away. Look at the timing tower on the left side of your screen. 4.2 seconds. Back to P2 already.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Derek, once your car gets in clean air, it's pretty much driving Miss Daisy, you know, going down the road. But, you know, look, Michael Harrington, I just want to say that is, as a former junior fan, that is the most sweetest looking Budweiser scheme I've ever seen in my life.
It's a nice looking deed right there. So looking back, Fred Chase, this is where the pass was made. Instead of going into the corner. I mean, don't take away from Fred Chase, a great pass. But I also think what happened there was 2 things. I think the pass happened, Emmett, and also Harrington didn't want to be part of that 2 wide in the corner, and maybe he backed it up a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of pulled a little bit of a slide job also to get that position, but yeah, Fred Chase, he's a man on a mission. He's already cut, King Wright had a 4-second lead over Harrington, and now Fred Chase has cut it down
to half.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Wow, he's flying down that track.
We've not been focused on King Wright. We've been watching the battles in the back of the track, but I wonder if King Wright has started to face lap traffic here. And that's got to be why you lose that. Unless he scrubbed the wall or something, that's got to be why you lose 2 seconds. But as you see here, Art Milne's back here now. Dan Adams is back here. So that means that King Wright has already dealt with them, and maybe they held him up a little bit.
As we see right here, what is that on the 15 car, by the way? I couldn't.
A lot of stuff in it. Yep.
Yeah. Looks like Randall from Monsters Inc. or something on there.
So, unique reference. There it is. There's a look from top down on the car. Got some palm trees on there. Some different things. Let's say Port City Pirates on the side of that vehicle. Kari King Wright, I can see on the driver's radio, he is doing his best to communicate and navigate with that lapped traffic. So if we head up to King Wright, you'll see here, he is doing his best to kind of give them hints. Hey, I'd like you high, I'd like you low. And I love that out of a leader, Emmett. When a leader is willing to kind of communicate and tell the field where he wants them to be, it makes it easier for everybody.
Yeah, it makes it way easier and less chaotic and less stressful. But then you also deal with the fact that some people might not want to move out of the way, you know? They might want to stay on the lead, but usually 9 times out of 10, people are going to move out of the way when you ask nicely. So, yeah, great job by King Wright to direct the traffic for sure.
Is Michael Harrington in that black and red version of an old Dale Jr. paint scheme with the red with the Budweiser. He scrubbed the wall a little bit. Nolan McClurg, who debuted last week, him and his father, a father-son duo who joined the league. Nolan had an amazing run last week and would love to do it again. In that Dr. Pepper machine, he got up to Harrington, had to back it up a little bit here, but he is closing quickly.
Yeah, so I just looked up some info about the Port City Pirates, and it's actually a youth wrestling organization in Wilmington, North Carolina.
There you go. We learned something new tonight.
Huh. That's the right one.
If that's the right one.
Well,
by the way, if you are hanging out in the YouTube chat, I want to say hello to you. We've got plenty of people out there. Austin Norris, Jeffrey Weaver, Danny Jackson, Shelby Guerrero, and more rooting on your favorite drivers. Glad to see you guys having a great time out there. So thanks so much for hanging out in the YouTube chat and staying active. But this battle right now, Michael Harrington now back to 4th. He has been passed by Nolan McClurg, and now you see there's a big gap back to P5. That's Willie Smith.
Yeah, Willie Smith moving up in front of Terrence Murphy to the 5th position and trying to catch Nolan McClurg. But Fred Chase now, he must have hit lap traffic because now Akari King Wright has jumped out to a 3.2 second lead. Yeah,
if we look ahead from Fred Chase, you'll see he's still got 2 lap cars up ahead of him that are maybe slowing him down a little bit. So, I mean, not slowing him down, but definitely just kind of making him think about the corners and running different lines. We were at King Wright's now back up almost 3.7 seconds. So it does feel like that lap traffic must have played an impact. Well, here we are, 29, almost 30 laps into our run here at Darlington Raceway. Keep in mind, fuel tanks here, 48% capacity. All these drivers are allowed to have in the fuel tanks. So, as I say, we're about to hit lap 30, Emmett. That means we're probably not incredibly far away from our first round of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, definitely, definitely fuel, but you know, you never go to a track, and this is my opinion, but at Darlington, I'm thinking tires are more important than fuel, because you gotta have the grip when it comes down to it for you to try to get that win for sure. But you gotta have the fuel too, so it goes hand in hand.
It does go hand in hand, but see what impacts this race has and who wants to try what. Because remember, we came into tonight tied. That black and red car right there, that's Michael Harrington. He was tied with Michael Weaver. Harrington sits in third. Weaver sits all the way back in P9 currently. So you got to wonder to yourself, Harrington may be happy, but does Weaver try something weird? Does Weaver try a two-tire stop? Does he try something different maybe to gain time? Who knows? Here's the pass up top. McClure crushes the wall. And that car, I think, is hurt. Look at it, kind of just, it doesn't seem right after that hit.
Yeah, and further back, as we were seeing coming into frame, it looked like Chris Mackey. Might have been Chris Mackey, I don't know, but somebody hit the wall a ton. Let's see. Oh, we got a car around.
There's a car. That's down below the racing surface. That's the 101. And no caution because it's on the racing surface. We're going to stay green. Remember, here at Darlington, the racing surface is defined a little different.
Oh my gosh!
I think either lost the car or maybe there's another car parked up there sideways as well. I couldn't get a number on that one, but these are going to be unrelated. There's, the 101. He just crushed the barrels. And there's a separate car spinning up top. These are, I don't want to say synchronized. That's the wrong word. And the 101 just missed pit entry.
So if
who's that up there?
I couldn't.
Is that Brian Day and Justin Day? Is that a Deo? A day on day? I don't have a pun here I want, but it's a Tuesday. That's my producer from here. It's a Tuesday wreck. That's what we're dealing with there. The 70. Oh man, he did both of them. Pit entry got them both. That car tried to get down below the banking and spun it out sideways in the 101, differently so. Corey Moore did get on pit road successfully, by the way. Do want to point that out really quickly. And pit stops are underway. Willie Smith, Ryan McClure, Blake Ward, Jeffrey Petty, Doug Ivey, and more. You see them here on the tower on the left side of your screen, Emmett. So I said we weren't far away, and pit road is busy.
Yeah, and it looks like, is everyone, Blake Hewlett will inherit the race lead as he comes around, as he's going to stay out for a couple laps and lead some laps, get some points. But yeah, I mean, it's been a busy place, and as you see, the jack's going up, jack's going down, so that's telling me that everybody's taking 2 or at most 4 tires, which you got to keep your sets in line as well.
Yep. Right now, Blake Hewlett, Austin Guerrero have not pitted, and nor has Josh Revel. Other than that, pretty much everyone has pitted in this round of stops. There's Art Milne, right side's up, right side's down, left side's up, and left side's back down for Art Milne, so he'll come away. And as I take a look at the pit deltas up and down my timing tower, Emmett, it looks like everybody is going to be 4 tires and gas, no 2-tire calls. And now Hewlett and Guerrero are in. That leaves just Josh Revel. Will he come around and claim a lap lead? We'll wait and see. But he is the last car on this pit cycle. So by lap 36, first round of pit stops are done as a couple cars get a little loose.
Oh, hard contact. Yeah, as we saw that car come into frame, hard lick into the wall. But now, Derek, you use one set. Now you got to, because you can't put scuffs on like you can in real life. Once you use all your tires, you're done.
Well, and that's important to note real quick. Sorry to cut you off, but it's only 4 sets of tires total in this race.
Ow.
So think about that. That's one you started with plus 3 more. So these drivers are already now on their second set a quarter of the way through this race.
Yeah, we see some more Darlington stripes being handed out. As we see another one right there as the two, Michael Weaver gets a little bit of a stripe.
20 cars. Josh Revel reports pitting this time. That will complete the cycle and will put Kari King right back to lead. Now, for Revel, what's important here to me, Emmett, he went 38 laps. He literally could be this difference between saying maybe, you know, cutting a pit stop off if he does the math correctly.
Yeah, and I think that's why he stayed out, Derek. He was just seeing, you know, what he could do that, you know, could ultimately put him in a good shot to get a good top 10, top 5, or even get a win. So just seeing what he could do for sure if it comes down to that late race caution for sure.
We've already completed our first round of green flag pit stops here at Darlington. The track, too tough to tame. Right now, here's a battle. This is Michael Harrington and Nolan McClurg. Harrington wants that spot back. McClurg does not want to give it up.
Yeah, McClurg not giving it up. But as you see right here, that 8 car, he's not giving up as well. Harrington trying to get alongside McClurg, and we'll see it right here as he's going to try. Oh, McClurg got into the wall, so that's going to give Harrington the advantage, Derek, by quite a bit.
It does. Gives him the spot back. So now Harrington back up to P4, doing a pretty great job here, getting on around. Quickly, this race has moved on. We're now up past lap 40. We're a third of the way through the race here at Darlington, working lap 120. There's lap traffic now. There's Harrington getting around Dan Adams in the 88. Fred Chase, he's already gotten by. So your top right now is Kari King Wright, still now holds a bigger lead. By the way, that lead after your pit stop cycle, 5.8 seconds at Darlington. That is amazing. That is, I don't want to say unheard of. We've seen some dominance at Darlington before, but I mean 6 seconds is really impressive.
Yeah, it definitely is. As we see right here, the battle with Weaver and Willie Smith is really heating up. Willie Smith driving looks like the Code Red car, so trying to rocket past Weaver right here, but Weaver's doing a great job on the defense side and keeping Smith at bay.
Yeah, doing a pretty great job. Willie Smith in a new paint scheme, but look at that pizza on the side of it. It's a new look for Willie Smith here. You know what? I said earlier about how the track was shaped differently, and you kind of mentioned, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at our track map details for Darlington. See right there how it's shaped differently? That is how it looks. So this track, built back in 1950, 1.36 miles, of course, 4 corners. The banking up to 25 degrees. I mean, I think that's something important to remember. We don't talk a lot about the banking at Darlington, but that's pretty steep. I mean, it's not Daytona steep, but it's not far off of it.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is about Darlington, it's so rough because they rarely do repavements. So this track, it's usually not the original pavement, but you know, the next kid from the original, and it's really great action for sure. But it plays. I mean, it just wreaks havoc on these tires, Derek. It's just so hard to keep good tire wear here at Darlington.
So you see there on the right side, that's turns 1 and 2. The left side are turns 3 and 4. And you can see how turns 3 and 4, a little bit more just bound together, a little bit more narrow might be the word for it, right? It is harder to get through. And so there's your track map for Darlington. We'll take a look at that and see how that looks. Of course, this track, a fan favorite across NASCAR, hosts the Southern 500 for many years. Hosted multiple races at Darlington during the COVID era. One of the tracks that they used multiple times, hosted Wednesday night races here. So lots of drivers very familiar with this surface.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick won that first race back at Darlington during the COVID series. You know, we saw Kevin Harvick, I think Chase Elliott won one. Chase Elliott got spun out in the other. And that's where we got the iconic picture of him flipping off Kyle Busch.
Yep, that is something that did happen. Well, on battle there's that pizza truck right there. Or not truck, that was last night. Sorry, the pizza car is what we're looking at here, and a great battle happening for P8. This is Michael Weaver, and this is doing pretty awesome. Remember, Weaver came into tonight tied in points. He wants to get every point possible. He's got John Sheen up ahead, Willie Smith. He's got Blake Ward right behind him. Blake Ward, a multi-time winner this season. But I'll tell you what, Blake Ward, a pretty brand new oval driver. This has to be daunting to be a new oval driver, you know, roughly this season, and to come at Darlington. That's you know, taking like a new road driver and putting you on Nürburgring for the first time. You know, it's just got to be so confusing. Oh, big wall hit from Ward and others, and we're side by side at Darlington. Here goes Weaver on through. He'll make a pass. Now the lapped car of Dan Adams, and we're good, despite multiple wall hits.
Yeah, and as we see that red, is that a red car or is it orange?
It's orange. It's the Dukes of Hazzard scheme. If you take a look at it,
It's got Daisy on the front.
It certainly does.
Oh man, but that's not Jessica Simpson Daisy though.
I don't know. I believe it to be the original.
Yeah,
I believe it to be the original Daisy Duke, the OG, if you want to call it that way.
Huh.
Well, a battle happening here. P7, Michael Weaver now needs to catch up to Willie Smith. That is a bit of a gap ahead here. But the story of the night right now is the dominance being put on Akari King Wright. That car might need to be inspected post-race because that car is 9 seconds to the good on the rest of the field.
Yeah, that might be the T-Rex car like Jeff Gordon had at Charlotte. So might definitely need to be inspected for sure.
Back to the field, Michael Weaver is doing a pretty good job here trying to get on around. So currently Weaver runs 7th, Harrington runs 3rd. So far no bonus points for either driver, no laps led, no pole award, nothing like that. So straight up now it's just straight up racing as those guys are trying to get their any point found they can before the last 2 races kick in here at Chicagoland and Homestead. There's a nice wide shot. This is Blake Ward. He's trying to run down John Sheen. See a couple drivers running the bottom. And of course at Darlington, you know, the old stories would tell you, it meant that, you know, when this track was built, no one thought you raced up here in this part of the surface. They all raced kind of below that white line, supposedly. And then this area up here was sort of for runoffs and wrecks and different matters. Eventually someone figured out, hey, there's grip up there. So,
Yeah.
James, I'll tell you, those stories exist. I'll be honest with you, I've never seen proof of anyone racing down there, but mostly the stories exist.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody racing on the apron at Darlington. Just seen
Not on purpose.
people. Yeah, just seen people wrecking and spinning out for sure.
Glad you're here with us along for the ride. Working lap 54, almost up to 55. We're nearly halfway through this race. Man, I think what's going to happen at some point, Emmett, somebody's going to scrub that wall a little too hard. I bet it already happened a couple times, to be honest with you. But some drivers are going to be really flirting with that wall, and these walls fight back.
Yeah, she definitely does. She's real tough, but I think, I mean, it could happen. Anyone, you know, the old lady in black, she don't, what's the word?
Tolerate.
Prejudice. Isn't prejudice against anybody. She'll run out and grab anybody, just like Miles the Monster will at Dover. But it could be, I mean, King Wright could get caught up in it and just hit it just right, and that car just, you know, gets demolished and ruins his great run and dominating fashion for sure.
Well, by the way, I mentioned we're working lap 57. That means we're not far away from your second round of pit stops. Most drivers pitted right around lap 32, 33, 34. So if you double that, we're within 10 laps of being under your second round of green flag pit stops here at Darlington. A pretty awesome run happening here. Glad you're with us on a Thursday evening. It's the last Thursday before NFL football, so some of us are excited for that. Got a couple NFL schemes out here. You got Dan Adams out there. You got Austin Guerrero out there. So a couple of amazing runs happening. Here's a pass on the bottom. is good. All right, Emmett, so I'm gonna put you on the spot. We're about halfway through this race. Right now we're on schedule for everybody to be good on tires, but does anyone get desperate? Do you think, does anyone say, hey, I want to shake it up? Does anyone go 2 tires, or is everyone just like in the 4 tires camp?
I think if you're further back in the pack, Derek, and you're just trying to find that advantage to get that track position, especially if it's very late in this race, just trying to jump the field or something, I think from if I'm in 10th on back, I'm definitely taking 2 tires just to get an advantage on timing of the rest of the field.
If you want to catch King right, that might be the way to do it. I mean, he's still 9 seconds to the good. He holds the fastest lap of 28.658, and with tire fall off, I mean, fastest lap to current lap is about a second off for every driver in this run. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. You're watching the battle right now with Blake Ward. He is trying to run down the spot ahead in Michael Weaver. That would be the battle right there for 7th and 8th on track. Whoa, Willie Smith up ahead. You saw him get a little wild off the car. You saw Blake Ward scrub the wall, so Art Melton scrubbed the one. I said earlier, this race may look calm. It may look not mellow, but yeah, maybe mellow is the word I want for it. But there's still plenty of wall hits happening across the field.
Yeah, definitely some big hits for sure. And what better way to bring that analogy than, like you said, next week the NFL starts. And then tomorrow, well, right now, actually, college football has started. So great to see that, and can't wait to watch my Sooners on Saturday night.
Well, I mean, college football started last Saturday, actually. Iowa State, Kansas State, but continues tonight and continues through the weekend. So lots happening. There's your Skyline Chili car. That's Terrence Murphy. He is trying to see what he can do. He's up to P3, by the way, over Michael, with Michael Harrington up ahead of him. Fred Chase has fallen back down to P4. And now we are lap 63. So I suspect any time now, we'll start to see the pit boards light up. In fact, Brian Cook already down pit road. So he is the first in this cycle to come on down. And there's a little bit of similar wall scrubs. That Skyline Chili, those Coney dogs in the back. There's a lot of food paint schemes in this league.
Yeah, and as long as there's no beans in that chili, then I'm all game. But yeah, great looking scheme. Looks kind of like a state fair theme, Derek.
Well, Skyline Chili, a popular restaurant in the Ohio region. So you'll hear those guys talk about it pretty commonly in the Discord. Yeah, they have this thing they call chili. We went through this last week. It's not chili. It's really not. But we'll do it later. We went to argue with them last week in interviews about it. But up front, that's Austin Guerrero. He's getting past. He's now a lap down by Michael Harrington. So I know Austin has plenty of fans in the YouTube chat. So he's going to have a hard time here tonight and hoping for something positive to happen. Austin currently, I believe, the first car. Sorry, Ryan McClure would be the first car lap down currently. So then we'll see if anyone's able to get a lucky dog if a caution does strike. Now working lap 65 here at Darlington. Oh, this is going to be 3 wide. This is going to be a little sketchy. They'd be acting 2 wide.
Oh,
but I'm sure Michael Harrington got nervous there.
Yeah, I'm sure he did for sure. And now Terrence Murphy, for the moment, shoots to P2. But I got to say, he must be a regular at that Skyline Chili because I don't think they'll let just anybody put their name on the car for sure.
Wait and see, but look at this battle right here. This is the closest it's been in a long time. Murphy up on the wall to avoid hitting Michael Harrington. Harrington gets on the way, and that battle for the moment is done. Harrington back to P2. And these guys, this is kind of the race they can have right now. Remember, they're racing hard for P2, but it's 11 seconds up to P1. I mean, that's just how much King Wright has sort of checked out here. Pit stops continue, by the way. Fred Chase, Jason rushing down pit road. So I suspect the next 2 to 3 laps, pit road will be very, very busy like it was earlier.
Yeah, definitely. And being 6 laps past halfway, we got to think about that as well. It'll be interesting to see what strategy these guys are going to play and what strategy could ultimately win the race.
Here's Blake Warren. He's moved up to P5, by the way. So he's gotten around to a couple cars. Willie Smith, Michael Weaver, and others you see on behind him. So he's made a couple passes. There's Nolan McClurg. He's going to pit from P7 and that Dr. Pepper machine. So let's take a look at his run down pit road. A very slow pit road speed. Whenever you're going under green flag, it always feels like you're just crawling compared to the field. What's he doing the stop here? He's going to come on down in a minute. Remember, he qualified way up front here. So he'll take that stall right there. He'll get on in. Let's watch the tires. Right side's up. That's going to be predictable. And they go down. Does anyone here take 2 tires? Not McClurg. He'll do 4. And then he'll pull on away.
That's I tell you, it's very interesting. Now we see Michael Harrington coming in. Let's see. Goes up on the right. And goes up on the left. So still no 2 tires, Derek. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah, I just think with the grip and the importance of tire wear at Darlington, it might be a hard sell for some of these drivers who want to make that call. I agree with you time-wise. It might be the call you have to make some moments happen. Akari King Wright has pitted for the lead, by the way. You see that up on your timing tower in the top left. So your leader down at pit road. There he is, that 27 car. Got a little damage in that car, by the way. You see he's just got, I suspect he's had his own Darlington stripes here this evening. Well, Emmett, there you go. There's 4 tires in that Golden State Warriors machine. That very nice looking chrome, blue, and gold. And he's off and away and wiggles it a little bit. But I think he's going to be okay here.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder fan to me is like, it's all right looking. But, I mean, it is a pretty sweet looking scheme. But, yeah, the nothing good about the Golden State Warriors. Just going to say it at that.
Well, right now on the board, a couple drivers left to pit. Austin Guerrero has, for the moment, found the lead lap again. He's actually going to get credit for leading a lap here under this cycle. He'll be the leader right here, and then it'll be Akari King Wright ready to pounce about 7 seconds back from Guerrero. So, as of right now, the only time that King Wright has not led a lap has been during these pit cycles.
Yeah, it's been the Akari King Wright show all night long, and it'll be interesting to see if anybody's ever going to catch him. But if this race goes green, King Wright might be walking away with this title. I mean, with this win.
With this win, indeed. Missed a bunch of the season, so he'll not be in contention for the title in season 1. I'm sure he, like others, is excited and stoked for season 2. And to take up a look down the board, Austin Guerrero is the last one, I do believe. Last pit in lap 37, trying to run this out as far as he can. Currently here, what a nice solid run here. You see Chris Mackey, he's trying to make a pass here. And that 9 car, he's trying to pass the 55. Oh, and there's the 20 involved. There's the 5 involved. So, oh, the 20 way up top.
55 in the wall as well.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if the 55 was just trying to get out of the way, or maybe he got a little loose and scrubbed the wall. But that 55 of Doug Ivey fell back quick.
Yeah, definitely fell back quick. And I was trying to decide if that was Wheaties scheme, you know, when RCR used to run the Wheaties fuel scheme. That's what I was trying to decide if that's what that was.
Yeah, very well may have been. Well, second round of pit stops have completed under green flag here at Darlington. Let's do this. We're going to step aside for a moment. We're going to give you a chance to check out some other things, and we're back in a moment here on Green Flag TV.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to Darlington Raceway here on a Thursday night. Average Joe's Sim Racing League. The Grillmaster Series is what's going on right now. Derek Watts, Emmett Crow here live with you with Christian Hill pushing the buttons, making us look and sound good behind the scenes. And well, Emmett, it's been a green flag race. I'm going to say it. I know sometimes as a commentator we're scared to say it, but it's been green all the way. It's been a very successful race for these guys as far as keeping it clean. We've seen a couple minor incidents, nothing to put a caution out, but here we are, working lap 81 of 120. This is really impressive.
Yeah, so I learned my lesson about the commentary jinx. So I was doing a race with our good buddy, Mr. Nolan Ripple, and we were doing an ARCA race, and this dude was checking out, thought he's going to win, but he ran out of gas, and the dude in second barely had enough fuel to make it, but he did, and he won. So I was like, right then and there, I'm keeping my mouth shut until I see that checker flag wave.
Fred Chase has had a wild moment on the front straight, by the way. I saw him slow down on the apron and the car wiggling. He's got it back up to speed right now, but Fred Chase, I think out of 3 and 4, must have snapped that car around. So I'm not sure if we'll get to see that in a moment or not, but right now on the screen is a single file battle. Oh, a big hit up in the wall. Who is that? That's not Nolan McClurg, I don't think. That would have been Michael Weaver or Willie Smith. That might have been John Sheen who smacked the wall like that. But that was a hard hit we saw a moment ago. Oh, it was Austin Guerrero. And that Steelers car, that's the black car I saw smack the wall. And then I see the Steelers logo on it. But Austin's having a pretty tough night.
Yeah, he hit the wall hard like old Mean Joe Green, or, you know, the bus trying to run through the tackles, but definitely a hard hit. But now we see further back, we see the 0-1 of Mr. John Sheen rocking the Dukes of Hazzard General Lee throwback. I love that scheme. It's the only thing that throws me off, Derek. It's way more reddish than the actual
yeah, it's not
that
faded.
actually orange. Yeah,
it's not faded. Yep. Well, there's Jeffrey Petty. He's trying to make a pass, but that's your leader. That blue and gold, that's the leader of Akari King Right. So he wants to get around Jeffrey Petty. This, by the way, will be a pass for, well, this will put P11 a lap down. So we just did Jeffrey Petty. Next up in the board will be John Sheen in that orange Dukes of Hazzard car. So as King Right continues to pull away, he has put now almost 2/3 of the field 1 or more laps down.
Yeah, if he gets around Sheen, that's going to be, he will be entering the top 10. And I mean, who knows? He's got 35 laps to do, but can he lap the whole entire field?
It'd be a tough job to ask of him. And wait, see, there's that pass around machine. Use that bottom of that track, but had made the pass safely and got on through. Well, listen, speaking to Nolan Rimple and others, let's take a look at the rest of the Green Flag TV schedule upcoming. If you like what you're seeing here, there's plenty more happening. In fact, right now, the Speed Xfinity Series, they're also running at Darlington. So when we finish up here, oh my gosh, Dan Adams on the wall. We're going to take you over there for the conclusion of that race. Tomorrow night, the Volt Racing League is at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And then Saturday's a triple header on the channel. We have the Classic IndyCar Series at Chicagoland. We have the Vortex Online Racing League at Nashville Super Speedway. Those are happening almost identical times, both in Indy cars. Saturday night, Chicagoland again for SRA. And then we take Sunday and Monday off for the holiday. We'll come back on Tuesday at Charlotte for OMSRL. And then the Beer League wraps it up on Wednesday. I heard their track today, and I apologize for not writing it down, but they're running Wednesday night in the Super Formula cars. So on a normal week with no holidays, 7 nights of racing, over 40 broadcasts in the month of August here on the channel. Happy you're along with us. Please do subscribe to the channel if you've not done so you know when we go live each and every time. Oh, King Wright, that was maybe the scariest moment so far, because that car wobbled right in front of him. Oh, caution. Hold on. It's not for that car on screen. It's going to be for Fred Chase. Hard up in the wall. Fred Chase, caution is out for the first time.
Oh, my gosh. It looks like it's more than just Fred Chase, Derek. There is multiple cars involved.
I heard the screeching of tires. I heard the call of caution. And just like that, this race is going to be flipped upside down.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, what do you
that
do
car
now?
is beat up.
What do you do now, crew chief?
I don't know what to do. Let's watch Fred Chase here and see what he's going to do. He's going to have Blake Ward come way to the inside. And, Blake Ward. Ward hit the car in the middle, that blue and silver car. It's that Jason Rushing, I believe, in the Rabbit Hole podcast machine. And then they hit Fred Chase. And then those cars might just be locked together at that point. I don't think that was Jason Rushing showing any kind of intent of these cars was kind of locked together with damage. So watch this again. Blake Ward's down there. He's going to tap Rushing up into Chase, chasing the wall, and caution. He's out.
Take a look. I just want to take a look after this. Take a look at this car that goes by, because you're going to recognize it as soon as you see it. A close call for our leader, Mr. Akari King Wright. As I saw one of the cars drifted down, I saw King Wright come into frame. Let's see if we see it.
There's Dominic. He might have passed by in this frame already. I believe he did right there, but yeah.
There it is. Oh my gosh.
He might have. I'd love to see a different view. Did he scrub the side of one of those cars?
He had to be on his arc of brake big time right there. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. See. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's... Watch this in slow-mo. Watch what's going to happen. I mean, that's how close it's going to be. That's...
Oh, my God.
You can't get any closer than that. You cannot get any closer.
You can't stick an index card in between there.
No, you can't. No surprise, by the way. Race Control has determined that to be on the fault of the 82. I think that was pretty obvious to anyone watching at home, but the call will be called, and 82 will get that end-of-line penalty. Pit stops have already happened, I believe.
Yeah, so with the 82, I just think Derek, he just thought, what you said, this is his first oval race, right?
Yep.
At Darlington.
That's his first oval race. This is his first oval season. And this is a
Oval
tough track in your first season.
Yes, definitely. And I just don't think that he thought he might have been clear, and that's why he tried to slide up in front, but he wasn't clear at all.
Was not clear at all. That's true. Well, here we are. For the first time tonight, we'll have a restart Zakari King Wright, your poles that are still up front. Michael Harrington, Terrence Murphy, Nolan McClurg in 4th. Michael Weaver in P5. The pace car driver pulls down, leaves this in the hands of the drivers. The green flag will come out in just a moment, and we will go back to racing in South Carolina. Well, a big jump by your leader, Zakari King Wright, that blue and gold car, and then side by side on back. And I think that 5 is trying to quickly make a pass here. Couple of black flags towards the back of the field, Ryan McClurg and Blake Hewlett. But I believe so far, we'll wait and see if those get served or cleared by race control. But at the moment, those are the 2 black flags posted on the board. But up front, the 5 is quickly now fallen in line here in P3, Emmett. So right now, if you're Harrington or Murphy, you have to make sure Zakari King Wright doesn't get away again.
Yeah, and I want to know, we need to ask Terrence Murphy if he either wins this thing or finishes the top 3. If Skyline Chili gives any discounts or kids eat free or something, you know. But anyways, yeah, Terrence Murphy, great job hanging on to that third place run. But Zakari King Wright, it'll be interesting, Derek. Does that damage affect the aero dynamic of that car? You know, it might not seem like it now, but as this run goes on, Michael Harrington builds speed up, could that affect it as well?
Have a wait and see what happens. Not that many laps to go. Now we're getting lap 95 of 120. See up on the top of your screen, only 26 laps to go in this race. And right now they pretty much said single file back on out, back to the field here. And it's pretty spread out. Your first top 7, 3 seconds back. The gap I wonder about though, Willie Smith to Jeffrey Petty. Look at that on the timing tower. That's about 5 seconds apart between those 2 cars. So there must have been a break in the restart somewhere that caused something. That's an obnoxiously large gap from a restart.
Yeah, definitely. That's a crazy gap right there. But look at this. We see Nolan McClurg, excuse me. Like you said, a newcomer trying to get a top 3 out of this race, trying to pass Terrence Murphy for 3rd.
Yeah, memory serves.
Oh, man.
Top 3 last week as well, and I'm telling you, he cannot hit that too many more times. That's at least the 2nd massive hit we've seen to that 16 car off that wall tonight. And if he keeps doing that, he's going to break that car. Like that's just how this works in this track here. And I think that car is broken. Look all the way down the bottom of the track. See if we can follow Nolan McClurg for a second. I think that car is broken. I don't think he is up to pace. Yeah, I think he's coming down pit road here, Emmett.
Yeah, he's definitely coming back down pit road. But another car that we saw hit the wall is our leader, Mr. Zakari King Wright. If you go back and look, you see him coming out of frame, just looking ever so slightly out of the corner of your eye. You'll see the 27 hit the wall. So
the question is, has the 16 car used their fast repair? They're going to come down pit road, get down to pit speed here. A very slow, gruesomely painful 45 miles an hour here at Darlington. He'll come down pit road. He'll give up the lead lap for sure. And he'll be ready to go here. So let's see what happens. Comes down pit road. How long in the stall will tell us if he has his fast repair. If he has it, he'll leave pretty much instantly, you would think. If he doesn't have it, he'll be here a while. And this will put a damper on the hopes of the 16 car. Let's see what happens here. Gets in the stall. And can he pull away quickly? I don't think so. I think that's going to be no fast repair for the 16. Bang. And he'd be gone by now. So some damage, unfortunately, on that car.
Yeah, and we see a newcomer to this mix, Mr. Jonathan Dominics. Great to see him up here in the 4th position.
Yeah, Dominic's in that red, white, and blue. That's sort of that popsicle-looking style paint schemes up here. Having a pretty solid run up in P4. Remember, we saw him have that big rack back in qualifying. So Dominic's up 13 spots, qualified P17 on the board, and is doing pretty well for himself. Well, so what, let's do this while we're under green here. Got about 19 laps to go, not that far from the end, so I don't want to spend forever on this. But while he's still on pit road, Let's just see if we can grab a quick word with Nolan McClure. If I can get him in here, maybe I can actually. Hold on. He might not be available for comment right now, so we'll see if we can get Nolan later. But under damage right now, still over now 2 minutes on that pit stop, so obviously some damage to be fixed here for Nolan McClure.
Yeah, tough break for McClure. Had such a good run going, but like I said, the lady in black, she ain't prejudiced towards anybody. She'll take anybody out of this race.
Seems to be the case here. The 9 car of Chris Mackey riding on board with him from the top of that hood there. And he's running P7. But look at this here. On the 9's going to pit this time. I just heard, by the way, he just called his pit stop. We're going to be here live for it, watching him come down pit road. You have to get way to the left here. I mean, this pit road is very deceiving about where it is, because it's like you think you're there and you just have to keep turning left to find pit road here.
Yeah, this pit road is very, very weird. And then also, you know, top it off, you got to go 45 miles an hour. Have you ever tried to tell a NASCAR driver that he's got to go 45 miles an hour?
Yeah, it's a tough task, isn't it? I mean, those guys are going 150, 160, 170 on track, and you've got to go 45. So Chris Mackey here, under green flag conditions, this is going to hurt a lot. So I'd have to imagine Mackey must have taken the wave around on that caution. Was hoping for a second one that just has not produced.
Yeah, it just hasn't got lucky with that second caution, but fast stop for Mackey. Not looks like he has Chop House on the side instead of Mountain Dew like he usually has.
Yep. So there you go. A pretty normal 14-second pit stop. Tells us 4 tires and gas. Mackey comes around. He can now merge up when he thinks it's appropriate on the track, and does. And off and away he is after that pit stop. Now 18 laps to go here at Darlington. Glad you're along for the ride. Up front, hey, here's the good news for the guys up front, by the way. If you're Michael Harrington, if you're Terrence Murphy, only 1 second to the leader. So compare, remember that 11 second was before the caution. They've got it down to a second. Now, can they do anything with that? That may be a separate question, but at least now it seems feasible.
And the thing that we also need to look back on, Derek, when he did get that slight contact, could that have done something to throw this car out of whack? Because, yeah, he was driving away with this thing until we got that caution for sure.
It might also just be the fact that now there's, you know, he has a car between him right now, that Jordan brand car. But it might just be the fact that now he doesn't have as many kind of, you know, lap traffic in the way. No moving chicanes, no picks, whatever, you know, sports term you want to use for that. So maybe that's what's causing a car kicking right, you know, to kind of stay within reach. The gap is opening a little bit. It's now about 1.4 seconds as lap traffic has come up here. But it just takes one lapped car to get in the way of King Wright, and this is a live battle.
Yeah, a great battle right here between Murphy and Harrington, the battle for second.
It says a great battle. You're right. This is Harrington and Murphy, the 2 cars involved. That car in the back, Jeffrey Petty, is not for a position. Jeffrey Petty is a lapper more down at this point, so he's not involved. He is 2 laps down, in fact, is Jeffrey Petty. There's Jason rushing up top. He's also involved in that caution a little bit ago.
Look at that, Derek. The lead, it was shrinking down to 1.2, but now it's going back up to 1.3.
And now it is going back up. Indeed, it really is here. So these laps are quickly ticking away. Look at that on the top of your board here. I mean, we are moving through this race at a pretty rapid pace, almost as rapidly as Terrence Murphy closed up here on Michael Harrington. Let's do this before the night wraps up. We're going to see what drivers gave us their webcams for a different on-board view. And we'll do a little bit of a around the horn style, if you will. We'll see who we got that we can sync up with here. So we'll do that in just a moment as we're just about to approach single-digit laps. Here's Jason rushing. By the way, there's Jason on the webcam. Nice racing chair. And that's Blake Ward, I think, on the webcam. Oh, that's Jason rushing. That looks like Blake Ward. Apparently, in the webcam software, they all name themselves Jason Rushing. I think that may be Jason Rushing there on the webcam with the triple. That's a nice triple monitor setup right there, actually. But I believe this one actually is Jason Rushing. That's a drum set in the back, a guitar. So Jason, apparently a lover of music.
Looks like he's got a gig after this.
Is that like an air conditioning unit above his monitor? What is that? Has he got like an exhaust manifold above his? I'm going to ask about that later. That's a unique look for.
That might be a stack for from a semi.
So we'll have to wait later and ask him what those are. I don't know. I'm pretty up to date on my hardware and everything, but I don't know what those are. Are those speakers?
No, because it's got the headset on.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and find out later with Jason Rushing here. By the way, 7 laps to go at Darlington, and Akari King Wright, as Emmett said, has pulled away with this lead again. Now 1.1 seconds. He's trying to keep it consistent, but look here in the back, all is good. There's Rushing's kind of scrubbed the wall, got away from it, and more cars go on by. King Wright just described his lap traffic as scary, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
So here we are, 6 laps to go. I think we could probably go find King Wright and we could watch that battle. Let's watch him battle lap traffic. You're only a few laps to go here. That's Harrington. That's the battle for second. There's King Wright up front. Now clear. Fred Chase with the next car, but here's a pass for P2. That's 5 to Murphy. He's going to try and make the pass. He will make it on the bottom and makes it stick. And that puts Murphy at P2.
Yeah, now Murphy, he's hungry. After this, he's probably going to go get him some Skyline chili, but he is hungry for that win. And you see him, he's catching him every little bit. In the turns is where he's really good, but King Wright's got the better straightaway speed, and that's what it's allowing King Wright to keep Murphy at bay in second place.
There's Nolan McClurg, by the way. He is no longer for a position. He's back on the track, and he's still up in there with showing the speed and the technical ability. Unfortunately, multiple minutes of pit stops puts him laps down, but happy to see him back on track. So he's not in that battle, but still making his presence felt. But here we go, 3 laps to go. 3 laps, about 2.5 laps now before Akari King Wright claims potential victory. So here we come up out of turn 4, 2 laps to go, popsicle 6 this time. And for a track that we thought was going to be difficult all night long, for most drivers, it's been pretty tame so far.
Yeah, only 1 caution for incident for sure. And I mean, it's just, this is crazy.
Well, here we are, penultimate time through turns 3 and 4. Here's your battle for second and third. But up front, that Golden State Warriors car has had a night like Steph Curry, just perfect all night long. So here we are, 1 lap to go, 1 more time around. Right there's your battle for second. But up front, that black and gold car has been dominant all night. All time it's given up the lead has been for pit stops. So the 27 car wants to claim his first win at Average Joe's. So 3 and 4 one more time. And much like his Golden State Warriors, he'll claim yet another victory. Akari King Wright wins at Darlington.
Dominating job by Akari King Wright. He deserves that win. Almost got caught up in that late race wreck, that last wreck. I mean, it came oh so close. Like, you couldn't cut that tension with a knife. It was so close.
That was close, and I'm sure for King Wright, we'll ask him during his interview, but that had to have been close. You're right. I mean, it was close to us, so I'm sure it felt close to him. Well, let's see what he can do here. He's had a long time to think about this. Claims his first win in this league. Had to appeal and get himself reinstated after being put on suspension early in the season. He'll come around here. He's going to burn it down. And he's going to celebrate in South Carolina. Much deserved burnouts for King Bright. Let's see if he can do any burnouts. And so far, no real burnouts. He's got a little bit of burnout. No donuts. There's just very little smoke. I don't know if you can call that a burnout, Emmett.
Yeah, I don't know if you call that a burnout or not, Derek, for sure.
I had to have a talk about this with King Bright. I don't know if this is gonna.
There he goes.
Listen, I guess when you have a winning car, you want to preserve it for next week, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, with that, I think it's time to take a look at tonight's unofficial results here at Darlington. Oh, there it is. Finally, we got a half a donut. Right. There we go. I didn't want to skip that. I thought we'd give so much crap for it if we skipped it there. It would have been under King Brian. So there he is. Finally, he's got the donuts worked out. Got the 360s and is celebrating. Well, let's take a look at tonight's unofficial results and see how they finished here in South Carolina. No surprise, King Wright is your winner, just under a second over Terrence Murphy. Michael Harrington comes home P3. Jonathan Dominic's all the way up to P4 for the Canadian, and with Michael Weaver P5. John Sheen, Willie Smith, Ryan McClurg, Blake Ward, and Blake Hewlett round out your top 10.
Yeah, 11th, you're going to find Jeffrey Petty. 12th, you find Chris Mackey. 13th, Austin Guerrero. 14th, Douglas Ivy. 15th, Brad Chase, who had a tough break, had a great run going. 16th, Art Milan. 17th, Brian Cook. 18th, Justin Day. 19th, Brian Day. And 20th, Jason Rushing.
He was back in the cars 4 or more laps down. And Brian Matthews in 21st. Josh Revel in 22nd. Nolan McClurg with that big wreck earlier back in 11 laps down in 23rd. Dan Adams, Brad G, Jacob Watson, Corey Moore, and Stephen Blevins round out a 28 car field. That's a look top to bottom at tonight's unofficial results. Well, for this driver, I think it's probably been a long time to think about this because he's had a long time to think about it. Had some time off the league, got reinstated only a few weeks ago, and Akari King Wright dominates at Darlington. How good does that feel?
You know, it feels really good. It's been a long time coming, and when I started this league a long time ago, and I was having a lot of issues just being in the bad spots at the bad times, and got a lot of contact with other people, but to come back and do it with no contact and actually win a long-term race, it feels really good.
So I'll tell you this, at least on the broadcast, when we saw it live, when the 82 and the 78, and I think in the 4 Fred Chase got in that wreck, it looks like you missed that wreck by about a couple of sticky notes or so of distance. How close did it feel inside the car?
Oh, I thought I was getting turned. I thought I was getting turned. I think I did get a piece of it. I mean, it showed as a 4X and on the screen, but I didn't feel anything. I had a fast repair on that last pit stop. Went down, told the boys about it, and they looked at it, said it was good to go, and didn't even touch it.
Well, you led every lap under green that was not under a pit cycle. At one point, you were up 11 seconds on the field. I'm guessing you were the only driver sad to see the caution come out, I'm guessing.
Oh, 100%. I did not want to see that. I had it all mapped out on like gas and how I was going to take tires and everything. And then the caution came out. I'm like, man, I'm going to have to beat the start. And right as we got to that restart line, Terrence Murphy was trying to lift that back end up to give me some wheel spin. And I was able to keep it under control and pull away there.
So if I asked you to use 1 or 2 words, describe lap traffic tonight, what would those 1 or 2 words be?
Tough. Definitely tough. I don't know if you saw, like in clean air, my car was absolutely amazing. Soon as I get within a foot of another car, it was down to tight air, dirty air, tight car. But luckily I was able to play the fresh air game, being higher or lower and getting through them. But no one really gave me any problems. They all, hey, I see you coming by, pick a lane, and and get by them. And I told them, there's no expectation for you to get out the way, so just hold your line, and I'll figure out a way around you.
What if I told you mid-race, the word I heard you use was scary?
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes,
Because
yes.
you're being all polite about it now, but I heard you use the word scary not too long ago.
Yeah, it's scary.
Okay.
Especially turn 1 and 2. I tried to save all of my passes for 3 and 4, but you saw some drivers were, they were just going to give it to me in 1 and 2. So that's why I jumped below, kind of that first lane on the apron, just in case the car slid up, we didn't have an issue.
Fair enough. Well, listen, it was a pleasure watching your race. Anyone you want to say hello to or give a shout out to?
Yeah, hello. The girlfriend, she's always supporting me and watching the races. I'm glad that I'm able to win again. And in this paint scheme, thank you to the Warriors. They're now 100% win rate. I've raced them twice. I mean, I raced them last week in Atlanta, but I didn't finish the race. But for them finishing the race, this is their second win and only my second time, racing with them. And fans, friends, and family, you guys, Derek and everybody, all the producers, you guys do a good job. Thank you to the league for even bringing me back. It's been fun. Even yesterday when Michael Harrington beat me in the practice race, it was still a lot of fun.
Well, it's a pleasure watching your race. Congrats, and we'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
See you next week.
All right, that is your winner, Akari King Wright. Sounds in good spirits. And well, I hope the next driver is in good spirits. That's the guy who finished P2nd. That's the 5 of Terrence Murphy, and he's caught up with Emmett Crow.
I'm here standing with your runner-up finisher, Mr. Terrence Murphy. Terrence, what could you have done different to catch Akari in those in that last run?
Well, what's up, Emmett? First off, I could have qualified better. I smacked the wall on my first qualifying lap and just set myself back for the whole race. And then on that second or third run or whatever, I got wheel damage racing the 8. And I just never got a chance to really run with them to see what lines we're going to work on them. But I was coming late. If we had another 20 laps, I felt good about it. But
well, yeah, you're definitely bringing the mail around the corner because you were hauling, and I really thought you were going to catch him if he would have hit the wall. But great run. Now I got to ask you, what is Skyline Chili?
if you ever stop into Cincinnati or places in Orlando, just stop and get your I don't have to tell you. Don't listen to anything Derek says. That's the only thing I do got to say. And come get you some Skyline Chili. One of those places is the best stuff you'll ever eat.
Not real chili.
Now, what is in y'all's chili? Because I'm down here in Texas, so what is in y'all's chili?
It's a different kind of chili than you eat. We like to put ours on some pasta, a little Italian and a little Greek. Just some Greek seasonings. Don't hang yourself up on the seasonings. Just try it before you love it.
Emmett, when he's not telling you, because he doesn't want to tell you, there's cinnamon in their chilies, but he's not telling you.
Well, it's a secret ingredient. So I don't know about your families, but we don't go blabbing about secret ingredients.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, congrats on the runner-up finish, and good luck next week. Is there anyone you'd like to thank? Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go? Sorry, I can't let you go yet.
Yeah, thanks, Jen and Alex, for watching at home. Hound Dog, I hope you're watching again this week. Tonight was the Shiner Memorial. That's his brother. Shout out to you, Hound Dog. But yeah, we're all good, brother.
All right, shout out to you, Hound Dog, and we'll see you next week, Terrence.
All right, see you, bro.
All right, Derek.
Terrence Murphy, and we'll wrap it up here tonight, I believe, by catching up with the driver who I would assume has taken a very narrow points lead. That 8 driver and Michael Harrington. Michael, you came into tonight for the second week in a row, dead heat, tied in points. You're going to finish 2 spots ahead of Michael Weaver. So with 2 races left, it is the narrowest of margins in that points gap. Is the goal just to win here on out and secure the lead, or what's on your mind? Michael, you out there? I heard Michael Harrington for a second, and then maybe I didn't. So we'll wait and see if we can get Michael Harrington back here a second here. But as I said, they came in tonight tied at 378. I don't believe either driver led a lap this evening. So they'll both just be based on finishing results. We'll try one more time. Michael Harrington, I hope he didn't walk away. We've had that happen before, but wait and see if he's out there for a second. But we may have missed Michael Harrington, unfortunately, but a great run for him in that Budweiser 8 car, that alternate kind of dark speed. Oh, there he is. Michael, you're back.
My headset decided to die at the worst time, but at least
Oh.
we got through the race.
There you go. Well, welcome in. So I was saying that you're going to take a very narrow points gap on Michael Weaver. 2 races to go. Chicagoland and Homestead are left. As I say those words, how does that sound? Are those good tracks? Are those bad tracks? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Chicagoland. Also close to home, but it's also a really fun track, so I'm really looking forward to that one. But no, it's been great. This has been awesome, especially with how the points lead's been going and whatnot. It's been a heck of a battle, especially with Murphy and Weaver. They're both two great guys, and they're both great racers. And I think this is what we all are kind of looking for. We're looking for good battles, and good points finishes, and especially tight battles when it comes to the points as well. So, no, I'm excited. I'm glad that Weaver and those guys are finishing well. This is a tough track. I had wheel damage after lap 10 and sunk like a rock, and then went and got it fixed, and then I just tried to kind of crawl my way back up there. So I'll take third. Caught some lap traffic at just bad timing and whatnot, but that's just how it goes. It's racing. But no, I'll take third. It's a good finish.
Is there anything you could have done to have caught Akari tonight?
Oh man, it's funny, Derek. We raced yesterday, and him and I were wheel to wheel 3 and 4, and I was like, man, it would be great to just put this show on like we did yesterday for the broadcast, and he was just so damn good. Like, he was so much better in 1 and 2 than I was. 3 and 4, I felt like I could catch him just a little bit, but I just felt like I was kind of burning off my right rear a little bit. So, no, he was the class tonight. He had it down. He was fast. Maybe a little bit of dirty air. We are kind of talking about that, waiting to interview and whatnot. But no, it's just how it goes. But yeah, he was bad fast, and he deserved it.
Fair enough. Well, listen, it's a pleasure watching you race. Anyone you want to say hello to or give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd say hello to my buddies back home that are always watching. Mike Dunce, Chris McCormick, any other buddies that I missed that are from work at the city. Thank you guys. It's been fun. And hopefully the Badgers can pull one out. Should be a cupcake win, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
Jump around.
Pleasure watching you race. Good luck in the next couple weeks, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that is Michael Harrington, who's going to finish off our podium interviews for this evening. Well, Emmett, a very unpredictable race, I think, in a way. A very clean race, a very exciting race. Lots of driver ability on the showcase tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Akari King Wright, even though he's got that Warriors paint scheme, congratulations to him. Great run in dominating fashion for sure.
Dominating indeed. Well, once again, congrats to Akari King Wright on winning here at Darlington. Stick around. We're not done. We're going to take you over to the Speed Series. They're running the Xfinity cars at Darlington. That'll take you right there via the YouTube feed when this broadcast is done. For Christian Hill, our producer, for Emmett Crow, my color commentator, I am Derek Watson, saying thank you for attending and viewing this race. If you missed this race, you can catch this race and every race for the Average Joe's Sim Racing League here on the Green Flag TV YouTube channel. Once again, congrats to Akari King Wright, and so long and good night from Darlington.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.